scamming against the name of the law. Nigga, we scamming. We scamming. Big up the scammer, them down a yard. We scamming. Scamming. Scamming against the name of the law. Nigga, we scamming. We scamming. Make sure you're well on track to your bank, yeah.
I said, scammer. My next court date in Atlanta. People claiming that they got sold, not me, your honor. DA be throwing indictments like pictures, but Chase Bank still love me. I got TD, I got Citibank, Wells Fargo, sipping bubbly. Step in the store, got me some boots, got me some shirts, got me a goose, got me some Hennessy, that's how I do. Benny for Han is me and the crew. Most my workers, they be jogging in and out of state. So fit, living for the life, they swipe they auntie. Fuck that broke shit, I just swipe me a new car. First nigga to swipe a whole crib, I just scam me a new lifestyle. Had to change the way that I live. Look, I'm scamming bitches and all that. Scamming white, but I'm all black. Don't believe in my soul, nigga. Might scam your hoe, nigga.
We scamming. Scamming against the name of the law. Nigga, we scamming. We scamming. Big up the scammer, them down a yard. We scamming. Scamming against the name of the law. Nigga, we scamming. Make sure you're well on tight to your bank, yeah.
Scammer. You a victim, well it happens. Debit and credit I took from the bag. Those are on the poor, the profit is last. Karma's a bitch, way much to confess. Versace and Gucci, be easing my stress. In the maroon, the floor is a mess. Appearing attack, the more address. Printer and ink, I've been whipping the work. Pre-immature, I've been scamming since birth. Swipe me a pound of the sour, the perk. Swipe me a bird, Poppy call me a jerk. Identity theft don't mean nothing to me. Scam me a man, that be something to see. Bernie and Madoff ain't macking with me. One thing in the lie that I'm likely to be.
Scamming against the name of the law. Nigga, we scamming. We scamming. Big up the scammer, them down a yard. We scamming. Scamming against the name of the law. Nigga, we scamming. Make sure you're well on tight to your bank, yeah.
Yo, Scotty, you going crazy for this one. We see what you're doing, we salute you. Hey, let's get it started. It's Backpack Capital One. What's in your wallet? Got a call from my man, A. Scott. I said I got it. Love that you highlighting all of these black colleges. Try to pay me for doing this. Look, bruh, if you don't get off my line with that foolishness, voice of the swag, pull up where you at, no cap. If the Brody is speaking the soft facts, my advice, tune in to every show. Captain Petty, but we know that the sergeants are with the smoke. Speculate, just tell me what is we doing. Get into it, okay, look, I'ma say this and keep it moving. My boy Scotty, man, he offered the least. Black grad, paying college, I'm glad that he called me. Walk it, cause we all been taught that talk is cheap. Even primetime knows Scott for the HBCU streets.
What is going on, everybody? I hope you Bama's are having a wonderful Sunday. Today is December 28th. Listen, I'm not too far behind. I'm pretty much on time. You know what I'm saying? So don't come for me when I come on time. No Diddy. I need y'all to be thankful. I need y'all to be like, oh, because y'all be real quick to call, oh, black people time and oh, Scotty running late and y'all be tearing me up in the comments. When I'm on time, I need my just due. I need my just due. All right. I need my just due. Now I'm gonna tell you this. Can we just talk for a second? Okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, can we just talk for a minute? Because a lot of people love to say a lot of things about me, but I would know one thing.
The devil is a liar. Yeah. Victory is mine. Yeah.
Listen, people say a lot of things about me. Okay? People say a lot of things about me. But what I will say is this. At the end of the day, I ring bells. I mean, I don't listen. You can say what you want. As Kobe would say what you wanna, right? Like you can do what you want, say what you want. I move the needle, and again, I want to be very clear. People are getting mad at me for doing a 3-hour show in 15 minutes. I was on there for 15 minutes, and all that said was,
take me through that, take me through that. Where we going, twin? Take me through that, take me through that.
All I asked was somebody to take me through them books. That's all that was like 7 minutes of a 3-hour show, and you would think I did 3 hours about somebody doing some
scamming against the name of the law.
You would think I did 3 hours of calling somebody a scammer. All I asked was,
take me through that, take me through that.
Where we going, twin?
Take me through that, take me through that.
Where we going again?
Take me through that.
That's all I asked. That's all I asked. I just asked somebody to take me through the books. I'm like, damn. And then next thing I know, I'm public enemy #1 on Twitter. I said, goddamn, how we get here? I made one simple statement, and then next thing I know, people done send me so much screenshots on Twitter. Cause the thing for me is this. If you do not care about, when I say, like, I really don't be caring, like, I really don't be caring. So if you tell me you care, or you tell me you don't care about, off lip and off shit and off hip and off kilt and off tilt, like whatever you want to call me, right? Whatever you want to call me, right? And if I'm getting underneath your skin, that means you care. Like, I don't know if, like, you don't understand that aspect of how this works. Like, if I got your fan base in an uproar, clearly you care. But y'all be the main ones in my comments and the main ones in my DMs and the main ones talking about something. We don't care. We don't matter. No, you're nobody. We made you. Oh, we made you. Oh, you're nobody. Clearly I'm somebody. That's crazy, right? Listen, whoever you are so perceptive. Gosh darn you. Like, you can't even she couldn't even let the subtle shade. She couldn't even let me do the subtle shade. You get what I'm saying? Like, the women are so perceptive. God damn. You can't, I can't even have like a subtle jab. Just like, you know what I'm saying?
Take me through that, take me through that.
Where we going, twin?
Take me through that, take me through that.
Take me through them books. Take me through them books. You get what I'm saying? So it's what I dog, super emotional, right? Super emotional. Emotional damage, right? So again, but we'll get into it, right? I mean, hey, I'm gonna do the best I can to clear up whatever issues that people think I might or might not have or anything like that. I'm just going to lay out what I've seen, what I've heard, and my beliefs, and then we'll just mosey on along to the show. And then however you know what I'm saying? I don't know. Does anyone have a channel before this one? I know Dr. Cavill had his show. Anything on JBSN, like Dr. Cavill had his show HBCU game day. I'm trying to remember who was on, but when I got started, it was Dr. Cavill. It was HBCU game day, but they didn't do anything live. I want to be very clear. They didn't do anything live. Okay, so Dr. Cavill did. Dr. Cavill, he been doing his stuff live, but game day didn't do nothing live. It was me, game day, Cavill. BJ was doing his thing on Facebook at the time when I was coming up. He was doing like his Tuesday night recaps. I remember that. I used to watch those on Facebook. That's it. That's all I could truly remember. Like swacking a fool wasn't a thing when I first started. It was no Jackson State other than no Tiger Talk. So Zoe told me they were doing theirs on Spotify. It wasn't a YouTube thing, right? So Tiger Talk had their thing, but they were doing their thing on Spotify and like kind of like a audio podcast, nothing visual. But all the visual podcast, that was not a thing. There was not a thing. Like period. Like there were no. The A&M didn't have the From the Hill jank. Everything you can possibly believe visually, there was nothing. It was like a barren wasteland of just nothing, right? Yeah, there you go. Bam, there you go. Jaguar Journal. Jaguar Journal was not a visual podcast. These were all, Carlos Brown, I think, was visual, but Flood and Jaguar Journal were not visual. Perry put them on YouTube, but they were on radio broadcasts and stuff like that. They had that all set, but it was not a visual podcast. So what I'm talking about, a visual podcast is like what Joe Rogan does, right? So there was not visually anything, and stuff like that. So want to be very clear about that. So visually, was there a visual podcast? No, not a lot. Dr. Ville, what I can remember, Dr. Ville, who else? BJ did this thing on Tuesdays. Game day had they had their thing on YouTube, but it was all videos. It was nothing live. They did nothing live at the time. And that's all I can remember in the space at the time. You know what I'm saying? So that just is what it is. So listen. All I'm gonna say is this. I thank God that I jumped on the wave when I did. That was nothing but the grace of God. Yes, am I talented? Do I believe I'm talented? Yes, I believe I'm talented. Do I believe I'm entertaining? Yes, I believe I'm entertaining. But it was only by the grace of God that I caught the wave when I caught it. Because my boy Josh will tell you, sometimes God just graces you to catch the wave at the right time, and you accelerate off the wave. And I've just listened. The 10 seconds of fame Dion interview brought me, and I caught that wave in the spring, has catapulted me to where I'm at now. So at the end of the day, I thank God. You listen, y'all can thank whoever y'all want. Yeah, I thank God. But at the end of the day, I'm just giving it to you like I give it to you, right? So let's get into this. Right? Listen. It's Sunday. All right. But let me say this, because I could just imagine how she was saying this, because, you know, first of all, she from the area, but, you know, it's Sunday. But let me just say this. I will never respect anyone from Jackson State who sits on a show where someone repeatedly tries to humiliate Jackson State University with hate and lies. Now, there's an NIL scandal. Let's see who gets the last laugh. Probably me. Probably me. I find myself pretty amusing. I would say probably me. I'll probably get the last laugh. You know what I'm saying? Just wanna, you know what I'm saying? Scamming against the name of the law. Hey, you can say a lot of things about me. But a liar, never. Okay, baby? You can say a lot of things about me, okay? But a liar, never. Okay? So, hit me with that, DJ.
scamming against the name of the law. Nigga, we're scamming. Make sure you're well on track to your.
Hey, that's a banger. I don't know who made that, but that's a banger. I found it though. Right? So listen, that just is what it is. But you know, listen, hey, teach his own. Right? So what that's what they told me. Okay, it's what they told me. I had ruffled some feathers. Okay, they told me I had ruffled up some feathers, and maybe I did, maybe I didn't. All I'm gonna say is this: let's just talk about it. Listen, I'm just here to have a conversation. I always say, listen, think for yourself. Okay, think for yourself. All I'm here to do is give you another, listen, just give you another perspective, right? Now, let's talk about NIL. Now, me personally, I don't believe in NIL. I don't think HBCU should be a part of that. If anybody tells me, I'll tell you this. People love to throw out the white man's ISIS coder. I believe NIL is the perfect definition of that. That is like truly keeping up with the Joneses. Like, you know you broke. You've been crying about you broke, but then you trying to spend money unnecessarily. Like that doesn't make any sense to me. I don't. You're never going to get me to make it make sense. It ain't going to make it make sense because you're just throwing money away. Like, again, my boy Josh is probably one of the best people I talk to when it comes to business. If I told Josh, and he runs multiple businesses, if I said, Josh, I see an expense here for $300K, and I said, what's that expense for? What ROI is that? What ROI have you gotten on that $300K? And he says, I don't know. First of all, Josh ain't going to say, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like, I need people to understand what I'm saying to you. People are alums and universities are throwing away money down listen, this is what when you donate to an NIL collective and you don't have a return on investment, let me tell you what you're doing your money. You had better just, if you live in a cold place like I do in Ohio, you better just get your money, put it in a pile, right? Make a nice big fire pit, put some oil on it, set it on fire, and your money's better spent keeping you warm than giving it to an NIL collective and just letting your money go out the door. Just letting your money go out the door. Let me give you a perfect example because, you know, you don't want to listen to me. Y'all never want to listen to me. Y'all just be like, Scotty, you just be out here talking. Well, okay.
We need to find one of these really rich people.
Now, for what listen, I'm only going to say what you guys have told me. You said, Scotty, we're underfunded. Scotty, we don't have this. We don't have that. The state ain't doing this. The state ain't doing that. We don't have. You give me all these reasons. Now, I got a white man here who is at a very predominant white institution that is at a state school. And Willie Simmons told me anything state of something is getting all the money. This Bama coach is at Arizona State University. And this is what he is asking for NIL.
We need to find one of these really rich people in this city to step up and stroke a check, and I'll do everything I can to make you the most famous person in the city, right? That's really what we need. We need one person. We live in Phoenix, Arizona. You're telling me there's not one person who could stroke a $20 million check right now? There is somebody out here who can. There's somebody who can. There's somebody. And like other people are going to sacrifice to be here. Somebody step up and be that dude to say, holy cow, what completely changed it? This person. There's somebody out there that's going to listen to this, that's going to get it forwarded it. If you know somebody who can do it, forward this message to somebody. Somebody can step up and completely take this place from the direction it's going to holy cow.
Now, what is that $20 million going to, you probably ask? Probably some renovations, probably some upgrades to the institution. But 60% of that is probably talking about just NIL money. And guess what they're going to have to do the year after that? Probably strike up another $20 million check. And then guess what that person's going to have to do after that? Probably strike up another $20 million check. Again, there is no... Okay, let me ask you this. If he gets $20 million and doesn't win the national championship, but he plays in the Pop-Tart Bowl, was it worth it? If I give you $20 million, I better see you in something new in the New Year's. You better be playing in the New Year's Eve bowls. If I'm giving you $20 million, $20 million is not to play in the Circuit City Classic. $20 million is not to play in the Outback Bowl. $20 million is not to play in the Cheez-It Bowl. $20 million, if I give you $20 million, I need to see you in the New Year's Eve Bowl. But I don't believe that's, it's only a few amount of schools that are going to be able to do what you're asking them to do on a consistent basis at the Power 4 level. So again, you're trying to play big boy ball with little boy budgets. It doesn't make any sense. Now, again, I am never opposed to spending money. Like, I need people to understand what NIL was really for. NIL was really for the Reggie Bushes of the world, the Robert Griffin III, the Terrell Pryors, right? The RG3s, the Vince Youngs, like those transcendent players in college athletics at the time that were not able to make money off of their likeness, not able to get money off jersey sales, not everybody is a top player. Not everybody is transcendent, and that's included in FCS football as well. That's just what that is. Now, again, on the flip side of that, you have the revenue sharing. And again, what I love with Ashley Robinson and Angela Suggs, what they started to do was say this. This is how NIL and revenue sharing are two different things. NIL is for your name, image, and likeness. If you that guy, like Andrew Body, if Andrew Body really had a campaign manager and a marketing manager, he probably could make a good amount of money in Montgomery off his name, image, and likeness in the state of Alabama. He could probably in Montgomery. That is a regional-based NIL deal. Davius Richards in NCCU could probably make a good amount of money regionally when he was playing for NCCU, right? Devontae Kincaid in the Ruston, Shreveport, that whole Grambling area, he could probably make a good amount of money in the region and so forth. And so that's cool. But revenue sharing is what HBCU should be trying to get more into, which is, hey, we have a fan base. Tariq Cohen, thank you, Jay. Tariq Cohen, right? We have a fan base that comes to games. Jackson, FAM, Alabama State, A&M, Southern. 12 fans don't really go to games, but, you know, hey, whatever, right? Even with a championship, still don't go to games. But South Carolina State. So what you do is say this. Okay, cool. I've been selling ticket prices at $50. I'm going to bump my tickets up to $70. And I'm going to take the $20 that I've just profited. I'm going to take 10 of that, and I'm going to put it in my revenue sharing to give back to my players. That is revenue sharing. That is the business that HBCU should be in. Because if you're going to talk about attendance, profit off of the attendance. If you're going to, perfect example, what Norfolk did at homecoming. I'm going to insulate myself and make all you Bamas who just want to be on my campus, I'm going to make you pay. And then the money that I'm getting, I can then redistribute it back to the players or give a percentage of that. That is business. That is good business. That is revenue sharing. That is when you want to brag about attendance, because when you brag about attendance and you've raised ticket prices, and like Ashley Robinson did, right? He raised ticket prices. He took some of the extra money and put it back into his NIL fund. Now he has NIL money that he can distribute willy-nilly, right? Again, if I'm Southern, Roman Banks, take notes, my guy. If I'm Roman Banks, year one with Marshall Faulk, my ticket prices are not the same. My ticket prices, you have to learn from Jackson. My ticket prices year one are not the same with Marshall Faulk. If I was selling general admission for $50, I'm now selling them for $80. If I was selling reserve seats for $70, I'm now selling them for $100. I got to make my money back in NIL because I know I got to turn around and pay players to keep them. I don't have a problem with you paying players. What I have a problem is you begging your alums to give money to an NIL collective when they've already given you money for season tickets, merchandise, for all that. Use that money. Season tickets too. All that stuff got to go up. And I'm going to turn around. Because again, it's the same thing I said with Norfolk. Win or lose, you're going to win with Michael Vick because of the ticket sales. You just have to capitalize off of it. If Marshall Faulk goes 1-11 and you didn't raise ticket prices, you're dumb as hell. If Marshall Faulk goes 10-2 and you didn't raise ticket prices, you dumb as hell. Either way, you should be raising ticket prices. Yesterday's price is not today's price. And if Southern fans can't get with that, then they don't get with it. But you got to understand the market. You got Marshall Faulk, a Hall of Famer. I got to capitalize off it. I would be selling T-shirts. Fuck around and find out. Percentage of that goes to revenue sharing. That is how you get alums to participate in NIL stuff, something that they can tangibly get back and receive. If it's a Marshall Faulk package, right, where they get a T-shirt, a bobblehead, a helmet, or whatever, it costs them $150, and $50 of every purchase goes into the revenue sharing pit. That's how you make that stuff work. But again, let's play another video since you guys don't want to believe me. Here we go.
NFL Hall of Famer get tricked by his alma mater into writing a massive check for a player who's leaving the team. Fair warning, if you're a fan of players getting paid, this could lead to some serious issues. Troy Aikman just went public saying he's done contributing to UCLA's NIL Collective after cutting a check for a player who is now transferring to a new school. And here's the thing, this is exactly why the biggest boosters from the biggest programs are starting to support regulation. Look, I saw this coming way back when Quinn Ewers joined Ohio State, right when the transfer portal madness began. Remember, he reclassed, he enrolled early, got a massive NIL deal and a new car, and then he sat behind CJ Stroud for a year without playing a meaningful snap, and then packed his bags, transferred to Texas. You were an Ohio State booster who paid to land yours. You literally just set your money on fire. So if you are an alum or a big-time donor, what's even the point? The problem is that there's zero accountability in these deals right now. Donors are writing six-figure checks thinking they're investing in their program, but there's nothing stopping a player from taking the money and leaving. But this is why everything's about to change. Schools and donors are going to push hard for regulations and some sort of contractual structure that protects both sides. A household name like Troy Aikman's pulling his support for his own alma mater, and that is a massive warning sign for every program around the country. If legends like him are walking away, smaller donors are going to follow, and programs are going to completely have to rethink the way that they approach today's game. NFL.
Again, you're talking about big time donors to their programs realizing, what am I doing this for? What am I doing this for? Why am I writing $50,000, $100,000 check for a player that has no guarantees if he'll stay with the program for over a year? I literally just gave a player a $100,000 check, and he's about to walk out the door. And I'm gonna be honest with you. Listen to me. I'm gonna say this right here, right now. I would not, if I'm Alabama State, I don't pay Andrew Body what Andrew Body's worth because I can't afford him. You have to know when to hold him and when to fold him. Unless Andrew Body told me $30,000, oh, I can do that. I can do that twice on Sunday. Hey, give me one donor, $30,000 a week. Anything over six figures, Andrew, there's a door, my boy. Because again, I'm not going to overpay for a player. I'm just not I can't. It doesn't make sense. It just doesn't. When I got things I can do for my institution and for my team, I can use that six-figure money for nutrition. I can use that six-figure money for anything else. But why am I forcing it to a player? You're never going to get me to understand that. It doesn't make any sense. But what you could have done is you could have raised ticket prices with Andrew. If you were smart, which Cable is, right? Because he did bump up the ticket prices. But again, the thing about HBCUs that make me mad, and it's going to continue to make me mad, is that they don't move. There's no price jump in the market. There's no like, hey, this is a big game, let me bump up the ticket prices. They don't do that. It's a one-stop shop, flat fee. Oh, we're going to raise it 4%. Everybody knows how everything in the market works. If you buy a ticket during the busy season of an airplane or during the summertime, the prices go up. If you buy in the off season, the prices go down. If you go to a big time college game, the prices go up. If you go to a sorry game, the prices go down. Everybody understands that, but HBCUs are the only institutions that will literally say, well, we don't want to outprice our market. When I'm seeing Bama show up in Mercedes, RVs, you got to spend $1,500 just to set your goddamn tailgate up. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You done bought a tent, you done bought a portable satellite, you done bought the cable package, you done bought the food, you done bought the grill, you done rented the RV, you done spent all this money, and you telling me that I can't raise the ticket prices because I don't want to outprice my market. What? Are you shitting me? But the same people are buying $200 bottles at the club, $100 shoes, $300 this, $500 this, $400 that. Like, are you kidding me? I'm not understanding the business model. Is the business model is to be cheap and nickel and dime your way to wealth? Or is it like, hey, listen, I'm going to have to tax y'all. If Prairie View was a real fan base, if I'm Tremaine Jackson, I'm taxing their ass. What? But they don't show up anyway. They only show up at homecoming. So you know what I'm going to do at homecoming? The prices for homecoming would be through the roof. Because I know you're going to make it back for at least one game. So you know what them ticket prices going to be? $100. General admission, $100. Reserve seats, $150. To be on campus, $50. Just to walk on campus, $50. Tailgate prices going up. All that. I got them because you're not willing to show up on a regular day game. I got to beg you to come out on every other day game. So I might as well raise the prices. I got to. But hey, what do I know? Right? What do I know? Now, let me say this. All I'm going to say is this. Be very, very mindful. Right? Listen, I'm just here to help. All right? I'm just here to help. You know, they got a saying said, if you see something, say something. They got a saying, if you see something, say something. Okay? I saw something. I'm just going to say something. Well, better yet, I'm not going to say. I'm just going to read it. Because I don't want this to be at any particular person. I'm just going to read it. If you see something, say something. Okay. Now, there are some collectives out in the HBCU space that are doing it a certain type of way. And the way that they're doing it, it's not always on the up and up. Just say a little bit like that, right? Because again, most collectives in the PWI space are not nonprofits. But you know what? I'm gonna just read it. Everybody, you get in where you fit in. I'll just read it. All right, let me shrink this up a little bit so you guys can see it. Good morning. Thanks for spending part of your day. When NIL Collectives first started forming in 2021, they were typically organized in one of three ways. A few operate as a for-profit, full-service marketing agencies. Most other groups incorporated themselves as LLCs and ran themselves as a not-for-profit, seeking to distribute as much revenue as athletes as possible. But some went a step further and incorporated as a 501c3 nonprofit. Just like with donations made to athletic departments, donations to 501c3 organizations are tax deductible. funds given to regular OLLCs are not. I was surprised to see many NIL collectives being given 501c3 status, said University of Buffalo tax policy professor. The IRS says earning from those organizations cannot inure to be benefit of any private shareholder or individual. Bridget Stormberg, an accounting professor at Indiana University, was even more blunt. In my professional opinion, no NIL collective should have been granted nonprofit status by the IRS. Eventually, the IRS agreed, kind of. In June of 2023, the IRS Office Chief Counsel published a memo stating that most NIL collectives should not, in fact, be classified as nonprofits. More than 6 months later, multiple NIL collectives are still advertising themselves as nonprofits, eligible for tax deduction benefits, were unaware of any NIL collective being formally investigated or accused of violating IRS policies. So what happened after the memo? Since 2023, more than 40 NIL collectives have shut down, merged, or relaunched under a new name. While some of consolidation had nothing to do with the IRS, several collectives decided to reclassify or merge with other entities after the memo. The Clemson collective Tiger Impact reported $3.9 million in revenue to the IRS for 2022 tax year. It awarded 60-some athletes with one-year contracts, which valued at a combined $2.3 million, and paid the athletes monthly. However, Tiger Impact ceased operating effective December 31st, 2023. Last November, Clemson announced the founding of the 110 Society, its new one-stop shop for all things Clemson NIL. It's one of the numerous examples of restructuring within a school's collective ecosystem. I'm going to just stop it right there.
Take me through that, take me through that.
Where we going, twin?
Take me through that, take me through that.
Where we going then?
Take me through that, take me through that.
All I'm saying, when I said what I said when I was saying it a couple days ago, I just said somebody need to take me to the books and do what?
Take me through that, take me through that.
Where we going, twin?
Take me through that, take me through that.
Where we going then?
Take me through that, take me through that.
Because all I'm going to say is this. Now, I might not be the biggest fan. I might not be the biggest fan of the white man's ISIS coder, but I think Clemson University got some resources. I think Clemson University has some damn good lawyers. I think Clemson University got a lot of money. I think Clemson University might have more money than 1400 Lynch Street. So all I'm saying is,
take me through that, take me through that.
Where we going, twin?
Take me through that, take me through that.
Where we going then?
Take me through that, take me through that.
that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Again, I'm just your neighborhood watch. Okay, we look out for each other. We look out for each other.
Oh, goddamn.
That's what I'm here to do. It's just the neighborhood watch. You know what I'm saying? Looking through the blinds. You know what I'm saying? What they doing? What they got going over there? We just looking through the blinds. That's it. We just looking through the blinds. All I'm saying. This is a 2024 article. It's irrelevant. Okay. Okay. If you say so. All right. Listen. Hey, listen. Again, neighborhood watch. Okay, that's all I'm saying. It's neighborhood watch. You know what I'm saying? It's neighborhood watch. That's it. Listen, we look out for each other. If you see something, say something. That's all I'm here to do. That's it. I just read you an article. That's all it is. I read you an article. So again, you know what I'm saying? But hey, listen, things could change very quickly. Very quickly. Somebody said, ask ChatGPT. Okay, I'll ask ChatGPT. I love me some ChatGPT. Let me see. Here we go. Just asked it. Let me see. Let me show y'all. It says, can an NIL collective be a 501c3? Yes or no? Yes. An NIL collective can be structured as a 501c3, but only if it is organized and operated for charitable purposes and follows strict IRS rules. NIL collective cannot exist primarily to benefit specific athletes or operate like a pay-for-play fund. Athletes' compensation must be tied to charitable activities. No private inurement or excessive private benefit. Again, all I said was, listen, I didn't say, all I said was,
Take me through there, take me through there.
Where we going, twin?
Take me through there, take me through there.
Where we going then?
Take me through there, take me through.
that's all I said. Why people getting it all in a hissy fit? I never said it was wrong. I never said it was right. I just said, take me through the books. I said a couple players reached out to me and said they didn't get their payments. So then I proceeded to ask, where the money going? That's it. So again, I'm like, okay, is it going to the youth of Madison County? Is it going to the youth of Flowood? I mean, I just here to listen. Neighborhood watch. If you see something, say something. That's all I'm here to do. I'm just your local delivery man. Don't blame. I'm just again. It's nothing personal. It's not personal. Just stating. I'm just asking. I just said, where's the money going? To the youth of Flowood? To the youth of Madison County? You know what I'm saying? To the youth of Memphis? I mean, I don't know. Could it be going to the youth of the youth? To the youth of your youth? Could it be going to the United Negro Individual College Fund? It could be going to the United Negro Individual College Fund. It could be going. I've donated there a few times, you know what I'm saying? The United Negro College Individual. I've done, we all donated to the United Negro Individual College Fund, you know what I'm saying? Would you like to participate in donating to the United Negro Individual College Fund? Okay, that's all I'm saying. I'm just saying. That's all I'm saying. It's possible. It's happened. Okay. We've all been there. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Done a little like, you get 40, 30 for you, 10 for me. You know what I'm saying? 15 a month for you, 5 for me. You know what I'm saying? 72 a month for you, 3 for me. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Can we just have a conversation? That's all. Sorry. Woo! Jesus. All right. Listen. Again, just the neighborhood watch. Just a question. I'm over the call lines up. 518-263-8124. 518-263-8124. Let me see. Oh, my call lines have been acting up for real. Let me see. Yeah. Now my call lines is acting up, so I'm gonna just drop the link in the chat. My thing won't. Yeah, Mr. Sarge, you have to use the link. My call lines is acting up. It won't open up. So, but hey man, what Zoe got to do with this? Why everybody be asking where's Zoe at? Like, what Zoe got to do with this? You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna make my last point. And again, if you have anything to say, you can always jump on and say what you say and do what you do. All right, let me. I'm gonna pin this message real quick for anybody that want to come on and speak their mind. All right, so let me. If you want to jump on, you can click the StreamYard link. You don't have to bring your face on, nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? So you just I got, you know who just texted me. I got your text message, boy. You crazy. Listen, I'm just asking a question. That's all I'm doing. Neighborhood Watch, just asking a question. I'm here for y'all, man. I'm gonna make my point real quick. Again, as I said, what's NIL really? Money going out, but what's the return on investment? Let me ask you this, and I want y'all to be real. I need y'all to answer this in the chat. What school is winning? Right? I want to be honest. I really want y'all to be honest. If everything was the same, School A invests $300,000 annually in NIL. They've won one conference and one natty in 4 years. They lose players every 2 years. They've put $1.2 million into the player's pocket. Or would you rather be School B? $300K annually invested. You win one conference and a natty in 4 years, lose players every 2 years, or $1.2 million into your school. That is the name of the game, guys. Stop trying to stop expecting young men to owe you loyalty when they don't have to. So again, it's not about the collectives coming together. And I want every university and every alumni base to have their own collective. Have a collective with your alums or your freshman class or your senior class or, you know, your divine. Build a collective like that, but do not give it to the players. Put it into your school. Nutrition, recovery. Imagine $1.2 million and Alcorn builds a state-of-the-art recovery center, or Grambling builds a new player lounge, right? Or FAMU builds a double-decker field house. You get what I'm saying? Like, or they just add another level to a field house. So they renovate their goddamn bathrooms. $1.2 million. I hope FAMU can renovate them stadium bathrooms. Goddamn. I mean, they in that joint like a bowl. It's like a cesspool bowl. It's crazy. Everybody just peeing in a bowl in a valley, in a creek. Just everybody listen. You ain't no bars, ain't no separation. Everybody just looking at each other. Hey man, you know, it ain't nothing. You just everybody peeing. Just a bowl. 1955 plantation style bathroom. Just everybody in there just holding their junk peeing. You know what I'm saying? Like. But that's the mindset that has to be changed. Stop trying to be like the whites and just invest in your institution and believe in listen, I'm never going to tell you that giving a kid $500 or $1,000 a month is a bad thing for extra spending money I'm not going to ever tell you that. Right? $500, $600, $700, $250, whatever. Because when I was in college, a nice little $300-$500, that shit went a long way. Now, if you got kids trying to buy jewelry, that ain't my prerogative, my boy. Manage your money wisely. All right? I ain't here to try to buy you your new diamonds. Should be it. Listen, this is I saw Mickey Joseph told me this. He said, Scotty, you know what I tell the kids? He said, all I can offer you is bubble gum and playing time, and I'm all out of bubble gum. That's all I got. Bubblegum and playing time, and I'm all out of bubblegum. Like, that's what you got to tell some of these kids, man. A lot of these kids don't deserve to get paid. You better go watch Trey Oliver talk about that. He said, what I look like paying a freshman to come play for me? Now, don't get me wrong. Everybody ain't Travis Terrell. Travis Terrell is special, so I ain't listen. That boy different. I ain't gonna that. Listen, he worth every penny you decided to pay him in that freshman year, right? But what other freshman is all world to be paying like that? And what makes you think he's going to stay? You have to have a budget. Tremaine Jackson went through the whole SWAC and he ain't had no crazy NIL money. He wasn't paying players no crazy amount of money. He's a damn good coach. He understands how to recruit. He put it together and ran through everybody. Okay? So I'm gonna tell you right now, Quentin Gray, if I'm FAMU, Quentin Gray bet not ask me for no NIL money. My boy, you was just at Albany State. I know they weren't paying you no NIL money down there. Don't bring that shit up here. We got a couple dollars for you, my boy. You better use that 1.2. You better use that 1.2 million coaching salary and figure it out. Same thing with Sam Shade. You ain't getting no NIL. What you need NIL money for, Sam? You was just at Miles. What you mean? You ain't had no NIL money at Miles? Like, nah. All we gotta do is beat these blacks. You better figure it out. Don't nobody care about winning out of conference games anyway, so all you got to really do is beat the blacks. So if you can't beat the blacks with a little $500, $200 here and there, hey, listen, all right, son, you better go find somewhere else to coach. Because, again, any player that comes down to HBCU, of course their goals are going to be to go to the Power Four. If you're good enough to go, make the jump. I will find somebody to replace you. And the way the landscape of football is going, players are just dropping down. Players that used to go P4 are going G5. Players that used to go G5 are going FCS. Players that go FCS are going D2 and D2 play. That's why you see so many D2 players making the jump to G5s and Power 4s, because they have the ability. They have the ability. Period. They got the talent. The only school I expect to just be ass is NCAT. Ain't no hope in saving you, boy, in that CAA conference. Just take your ass whoopings like a man and just keep it pushing, all right? Until you decide to come back to the blacks, you're just going to keep getting your ass whooped. So until they turn to CAA, until, like, the barrel of the trash bin in talent in schools, then maybe you will rise among the trash. But as long as they got them premier white programs, your ass is going to continue to be at the bottom, my boy. Very simple. Very simple, right? But that's my little 2 cents on the whole thing, right? Let me get to some of these callers. Mr. Sergeant, coming to you.
What's up, sir?
What's going on, Mr. Sergeant?
Man, Scotty, help me out here, bro.
Talk to me.
Why you got all the scandals from the light skin plantation owner to NIL? Why you got all the scandals at the end of the year, Scotty? Well, you could have given me some of these scandals like in March, like in June.
I didn't want to distract from anything Cozy was doing. I wasn't about to distract none of you FAMU Bammers to see how bad Cozy was doing. Because if I started talking about some other stuff, y'all be like, yeah, Scotty, get on. No. Let's talk about Cozy. Let's talk about how trash he was. No. Was not about to let y'all go out. Nope. On the trash.
Now, Scotty, you know you Illuminati, so you need to include yourself in there with FAMU Bammers as well.
That's why I had to put my stuff up in the closet.
Listen, I'm glad the new AD for FAMU is coming in January, and he didn't hear your boy Perry say, schedule us for homecoming. Boy, there's some people who schedule Southern for homecoming next year. They're about to get a shock of their life.
Yeah,
they're about to get a shock of their life. But seriously, man, let me say this. I'm concerned about this, but I'm way more concerned about that contract with ESPN. Oh, I mean, the things that are in that contract like negate everything we're trying to do with HBCU Go, anything that we hope to do with Swag TV, and I can't believe that was a better deal than working with HBCU Plus. That can't be a better deal than working with HBCU Plus. If you get that contract, I would love to do a side-by-side against both those contracts, because there's just no way. There's just no way we're in this situation by our own means. It's like I watched this movie, and this cop was giving this brother a hard time. And the other cop that was with him said, well, listen, you pretty tough. How about y'all have a little boxing match? He said, you want me to box against him? He goes, yeah. He goes, well, listen, if I box against him and I win, y'all have to let me go. But if you win, police officer, I'll put the handcuffs on myself. And that police officer kicked that boy's butt because he didn't know the police officer used to be a Golden Glove junior champion or whatever. So he beat the brother down. And it seems like that's what we're doing. We're not trying to go head to head with anybody. We just put the handcuffs on ourselves. And that's not leadership. And I think if the presidents and Lord Jesus help the president convention, the committee of presidents for the SWAC, if they had an eye like our president, who is a lawyer, they might be able to sense either.
Not you talking about our president, boy. Y'all, FAMU is funny. Our president. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. Listen, bruh. It's our president. We don't like the process. We don't like the way it happened. We don't like how she was installed. But she's ours. We we gotta claim her. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's there's always that family member that you don't like. The cousin with the 3 eyes, the one that's kind of slow, but they still your family. You got to claim them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So let me move. Let me not slide past that. Let me say that our president. I didn't mean to like slide by it on the slide. But maybe if they had kind of a background like she did, they may be able to evaluate those contracts a lot better. And I just hope, man, that this situation doesn't continue in perpetuity, like some of those items that you read to us in the contract, bro. But listen, I will let you go. Thank you for keeping the focus on Cozy for 2025. I appreciate that. But we need some of these scandals throughout the year for 26, man. Make that your New Year's resolution. Take care, Illumina.
Appreciate it. Listen. Y'all not about to get me. You see, y'all be trying to set me up. Y'all want me to take all the bullets and y'all just be at the house eating popcorns and bonbons, laughing y'all ass off. But Scotty becomes public enemy number one. I become public enemy number one, and y'all must be out here just laughing, cocky, crackle. And then I'm on the hook for all this stuff, but y'all want scandals, right? But ain't none of y'all paying for my lawyer fees. Ain't none of y'all paying for my lawyer to be on retention. Because when I be coming out with this stuff, and I gotta go back, and I gotta talk to Mr. Campbell, and then Mr. Campbell we got 2-3 lawyers on deck. I gotta run this past them, make sure I'm in good standing here, make sure I ain't say nothing there. Ain't none of y'all paying that bill. None of y'all. But y'all want to be entertained. Are you not entertained? Come on, man. Al from Detroit coming to you.
What's going on, Scotty?
What's up, man? I like the profile pic, man. That's sharp right there. Well, you was at a wedding?
Sugar sharp, man. I wasn't nowhere, man. Hey, listen, man. I don't know why people keep on wanting to talk about that NIL. Man, listen, a lot of schools don't even really want to, because they don't get nothing out of it. Do people realize you don't get anything out of it? Did you just see Troy Aikman just said a guy I gave money to left to go somewhere else? I ain't gonna say who it is, but he played with the Ducks. You can figure that one out. You can figure that one out. He took the money and didn't say thank you. Listen, all you need is what you said Tremaine Jackson did. Have a guy who coach up guys, get guys ready, because as you heard, most of these coaches ain't even going to high school to get guys. So guys can get developed, get their weight up and keep on moving. But I knew something was going down in some of these schools, man, with that NIL, because there was no way in the world you could really pay them, because how many places they gonna sign autographs, go to a guy who owns a Piggy Wiggly and sign autographs? How much is that gonna happen?
But see, this is my issue, Al, and I'll say this. I think HBCUs do a horrible job of marketing to their players, marketing for their players, right? And I'm going to say this, and I listen. I think the world of Jason Cable. I think he's a great AD. This is not a slight to him at all. But if you listen, man, you have to figure out ways to cater to players in unconventional ways. And what I mean by that is he should have talked to Andrew's mom and said, hey, what can we do for homecoming that you can sell Andrew's merch, that you can, sell merchandise or sign jerseys or whatever. Because again, he can profit off of that. I don't have to pay you directly. You'll profit off what you do. You get what I'm saying? Like,
very true.
This is what this is what more schools should be doing more of. I know Jackson does that really well with Public Figure, does a great job of that. I think they have another clothing brand that does it. I think it's like Ryan Enterprises or something. They do a really good job of that. But not a lot of FAMU is doing a disservice, right? Because again, FAMU has had some very quality guys come through there, but they haven't had time to just celebrate themselves and elevate their products. Because again, FAMU is that type of brand that will buy players merchandise. They're really supportive like that, right? Southern the same way. You have to start coming up with multiple creative ideas and ways to get these players played, especially your star players, to where they're able to sign jerseys, sign helmets, or do anything. Like perfect example. I have a poster, Reed Enterprises. Thank you, Miss Faye. I have a poster with Xavier Smith signed it and Isaiah Land signed it.
Okay.
And they were at FAMU, right? I went to the thing. I got a poster. It's all signed. It's a little crumpled up, but I still got it, right? Like, Xavier Smith is in the NFL. Isaiah Land went to the NFL. I think Marquise Bell might be on that poster. He might not be on the poster, but it was the year right before they won the national championship, right? So Marquise Bell might be on that poster, right? But it's little things like that that are just mementos that you get to keep and have at a special time in a certain season, and those are the type of things that they should be doing. Like, perfect example, the dude said Trey Holly. Trey Holly should have had a interpretation of Trey Holly as a Chucky doll as t-shirts, and have them sign it, because again, you just gotta be more creative. And that's the thing about HBCUs that pisses me off, that you have people in place that are not creative. Like, let's keep it a buck. Black people, I won't even say black people, people in poverty or people in low income situations are always very creative when it comes to financial situations and being finagling and making and moving money around and doing all these different type of things, right? So my thing is, why not do that for your institution? Why not think outside the box for your institution and for your players, right? Like, let me be a perfect example. The kid from Alabama A&M, Contavious Dozier, that kid should have some type of merchandise just that he can sell for himself. He's a dog. Like, for the basketball, and A&M is a basketball school. You get what I'm saying? So It's little things like that that should just be added. Because again, if you're allowed to do it, why not do it? If you signed in, you opted in for a reason.
But Scott, I got a question for you. What you brought up is a good idea. I know a couple kids played at different places. The first, when they touched down, signed to go there, man, that next day they was posting shirts online and they were selling shirts, man. Now I'm just trying to figure out, if HBCUs is trying to go there and try to be with the big boys, why not try to take advantage of all that stuff? Having, like you say, merchandise, selling shirts, and going in with a company, you get half, they get half, or ever how it go. I don't, it's all different particulars when it comes to the contract, but I don't never see them really make an effort. Like you say, Jackson does it, but my question to you is, if they would have did that in the beginning of last year with Andrew Body, do you think he would have stayed at Alabama A&M?
No, it's not about, listen,
the reason why I'm saying is because you said sometimes if you're trying to plot, I understand he want to make the jump to the NFL, but could that have been the factor why he might have stayed?
You listen, you just try to make it as hard as possible. Are there things that I won't be able to offer you? Absolutely. But for my star players, I got to make it as difficult as possible, because listen, all you're trying to ask these dudes is the second guess. That's all I can ask you to do, because I look at it like this. If I treated you like a rock star while you was there, you had your own NIL, your parents was good, you was getting this, you was getting that. It wasn't $300,000, but with all the perks and incentives, it got up to about $70,000 or $60,000. I just need to make you like, damn, like, okay, shit, like, I know what I got here. If I jump out there and I don't get nothing, damn, like, I'm really giving this all up. They did this for me. I just want you to second guess. That's it. I'm not saying that it's going to be a guarantee. Nothing in life is a guarantee. I just want my star players to second guess. That's all I want. I just need them to say, man, they did treat me well. Like, man, they looked out for me. They did this, they did that. Some players are just going to make the jump because they want the money. That's fine. I can't control that. Because again, let me ask you this. Do you think let me see. Do you think Roman Banks would take another job if he was offered $500,000? I do.
Yeah, he would.
Do you think Jermaine Jackson would take another job if he was offered $600,000? I do.
He probably would.
We can't get mad at people for taking the money because a lot of people take the money. But at the end of the day, all I want you to do is second guess. I just want you to be like, damn.
You make a good point, Scotty, because I think the people getting upset. I'm looking on the Twitterverse. I'm seeing people get mad because people in the transfer portal, but you didn't even try to even make it, like you said, try to like sweeten the pot a little bit. I know I can't match up with the big schools. I know I don't have the money.
They did, but to me, it's like.
But it's too late, though. Why you wait to the last minute?
Why you wait to the last minute? That's my issue. Like,
That's the same thing with your man Simmons.
Yeah.
When Simmons was there, they waited to the last minute to get the money. You should have been whining and dining him, but he wouldn't even think about leaving.
Yeah.
I don't think they realize if you give love to somebody in the beginning, they may give you another look over before they decide to leave. But if you never show them any love in the beginning, why should I stay?
Why should you? Right? Why should you? So again, to me, you just got to do a little bit more. That's it. Just do a little bit more to because again, I hate to say it, these are your cash cows. Like, yes, are people going to the games because they love their school? But if the school is good, it makes them want to love it even more. So why am I don't want to lose great players, even though I understand it's going to happen, it's going to come, and that's just the nature of the business with the transfer portal. But
I got one more thing before I get off. Man, I'm glad you brought this. I was wondering, like, man, all these guys hitting the transfer portal. I'm like, I get it. People want that money, man. But I'm going to tell you, everything on the other side, the grass ain't always greener, man. But I'm going to tell you, there's some guys up here in some of these big schools in the Big Ten, it didn't go the way they thought it was going to go. I'll give you this. During the Michigan State this year, they shut down the NIL thing. They shut it all down. So that means whoever was signed to Spartan Dog did not get any money. And I'll leave it at that. Be good, my brother.
Appreciate you. Listen, man, it's all out here. You know what I'm saying? It is hard out here for a pimp. It just is. But let me say this, right? Because my thing is, at the end of the day, you gotta do your due diligence to try to keep your best players. That's it. Again, I give you the customer service that you deserve, or I give you the customer service that I provide for you. And if you still decide to make the jump, that's just your choice to make the jump, because it's your right to, and nobody should guilt you into staying or have to do it. All I can do is say, hey, I treated you well while you were here. I don't know if you're going to get treated that well when you go up yonder. I can't guarantee that you're going to get playing time. I can't guarantee that you're going to get this, or they're going to love you. Wait, they don't love you like I love you. Wait, they might not. They might not. Right? So it's one of those type of situations. That's where the business is, and that's where the game is. And you gotta take it out. You gotta take it when it comes. You got to take it as a grain of salt. You know, it comes. You win some, you lose some. But you gotta fight. You gotta fight. And again, I'm going to keep saying this. Like, you have to treat HBCU stars like they're really stars. You really do. And the guy was like, somebody put in the chat, like, first of all, let me answer this. You basically just said, no, I said NCAT sucks. NCAT and Hampton in the CAA suck. That's what I said. Ain't no HBCUs. Because I bet you if NCCU was in that conference, they would do a lot better than y'all. Anyway, this one, respectfully, we wasn't winning enough for that. That doesn't mean Trey Holly wasn't the star. Shador in Cleveland been getting whooped for like the last 3 weeks. They won the game. Doesn't mean he's not a star. Your stars are still going to be a star. That ain't Kelby Givens wasn't a star. Like that's dumb. Wins don't make you a star. You either got it or you don't. Especially if you're not a quarterback when the ball isn't in your hand every single time. And for Trey Holly, the person that was hindering Trey Holly was Terrence Graves. Because he didn't want to run the ball to Trey Holly. That's why his ass got fired. But again, wins and losses don't make you a star unless you're a quarterback. Outside of that, a star is a star. So miss me with that. Rembert, a star at Valley. Now I don't know if Valley got the resources, but a star. Come on, man, stop it. That's ignorance. Oh, we weren't winning enough. Respectfully, we weren't winning. Shut up. Respectfully, shut up. That's how I feel about that. Let me see what we got here. Let me see. I'm not a star. Somebody lied. All right, Mr. Willie, coming to you.
Hey, Scotty. Thanks for taking my call.
Willie?
Man, look here. I want to say something first. Let me be a little sarcastic.
Yes,
thank you for staying with us Negroes and not going over to the other side. I'm so glad that you bring. I told you from the beginning, man. You're enlightening a lot of people over there on that East Coast with the historical black colleges. A lot of people didn't know it exists. But let me get down to the nitty gritty. 2 years ago, when TC went 7-4, is when I first started hearing about this NIL. What you call it? Paying the player. NIL.
NIL, yeah.
And I thought it was foolish, but I didn't get in no conversation with nobody because you can't tell Negro shit. You can't tell them nothing. You can't compete with them with that. I agree with 100% do some shit like that. Give them 4 where you get home. But upgrade your facilities at your stadium. Do other stuff. You can't compete with, man, you can't compete with, you already don't have black people contributing back to the black colleges like the white folks do. These people have billions of fucking dollars. You can't compete with that shit. What you need to try to do, what you need to try to do is exactly what you said, Scotty. If you don't want to be here, young man, you don't have to be here. But you treat your stars like they somebody. I believe that that's a big turning point in this whole thing. They're not, they're just, hey, it is no way I would have had a Trey Holland and not ran him like that. There's no way I would have had a Miller and not ran him like they should have.
Fair.
There's no way. That man should have had 2,000 yards, Scotty. You know that
easily.
But we gonna have to. I don't want to get too far gone. But we as a whole, we got to get our shit together. We got to get our shit together. We got to stop looking for white validation. Real talk. I'm talking to my people for real now.
Agreed.
We're gonna have to get our shit together. We're gonna have to stop looking for white validation. And another thing, when it comes to voting and getting people in power, stop getting your fucking friends in power. You need to start getting more qualified people in power where you can get some shit going. When you do this nepotism shit, that's why we always still behind. I'm gonna let somebody else get on here and talk before I get
Appreciate Mr. Willie. Let me say this. Shout out to Mr. Willie. Shout out to Uncle Willie. He ain't cussing me out today. Let me say this, right? I hate to say this because I'm telling the truth, but I want to be very clear. Somebody sent me a clip of Sheila Crazy and Mr. Ford talking about me. And listen, man, I'm going to say this. I'm going to keep it very simple. Neither one of y'all was relevant before me. Listen, it's not even debatable. Like, it's one of those things, like, it's not even debatable. Like, there's nothing to, like, argue about. There's nothing to get a hissy fit over. Like, neither one of y'all was relevant. Like, what are we talking about? Like, I don't get, like, the reason, because let's can we walk down the timeline real quick? We're going to skip down the timeline real quick, right? First of all, the only reasons Bama called him Mr. Ford is because Mr. Ford used to call into this show. The only reason Mr. Ford does not call into this show again is because he disrespected my boy Blue. I told him to shut it down. He got in his feelings. He never called back in. That's cool. I'm good on that, right? But all they did was simply take Mr. Ford, add him to their show, Like, bro, like, what are we doing? Like, again, you can say whatever you want about me, but to be like, bro, both of you, neither one of y'all was relevant until y'all. What are we talking about? I mean, what are we talking about? I'm just keeping the buck. Like, that's not a lie. That's not a lie. Thank you, David. We're not lying. It's not lying. Your name. Listen, you're like Timona was Black Tony. Y'all know Black Tony from. I'm sorry, Lord forgive me. Y'all know Black Tony from Ricky Smiley. Like, hey, I'm coming in to work on Monday. Like, that was Timona. That was Timona. She was Black Tony. Like, that's what it was. Rick, I'm gonna be in, my baby mom. Like, that was her. Like, let's not play this game. Like, there's nothing. And then if you want to, and see, this is the thing about it, right? This is the thing about it. She was like, I think they sent me a clip talking about SWAC TV, and she said something about like Urban Edge and SWAC TV were more similar to each other and why comparisons, all this dumb shit, whatever. The thing to me is this. As much as Mr. Ford could speak ill about me, and Timona can speak ill about me, I'm so solid that even in the situation that me and you were in, Timona, because it ain't no she love crazy, like it's Timona, right? I put you on. I want everybody to understand what happened. I put Timona on with Urban Edge Network so she could get paid. I don't fuck with Timona like that, but I saw the opportunity. I said, hey, I think this would be a great opportunity for her. I pitched the show. Everybody knows the story. She got paid. They flew her down to the Orange Blossom Classic. Like, when you're talking about biting the hand that feeds you, like that, that girl is not loyal for whatever reason, for all her Johns and Joes and whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we talking about right now? So if we want to keep it a buck, like I've extended myself more to you and still helped you out, regardless of what you said about me. That's who I am. I was like, I saw an opportunity. I thought you'd be great at it. Hey, what y'all think about this? And you got paid from it. You know what I'm saying? I feel like the Bama off of A Few Good Men, like Jack Nicholson. I would prefer you say thank you by the freedom that I provide. That's it. Again, we don't have to like each other. At the end of the day, I looked out. That's me being solid. Like, so you can say whatever you want. You can feel how you feel, but that doesn't take away the facts of what it is. So again, Mr. Ford was irrelevant before me. Timona was irrelevant before me. And Stuttering Tom was irrelevant before me. So what are we talking about? Okay. Mr. Bugs, coming to you.
What it do, Scott? You doing, baby?
What's going on?
Real quickly, brother. I love strategy. So this NIL thing, I was trying to figure out, why does the HBCUs think that they actually have a chance to compete against the PWIs when it comes to NIL? Let me give you an example real quickly here. SMU, great school,
different type of money.
Old money. This is the offer that they actually wanted to get into the ACC. The ACC came out and said, "Hey guys, we'll invite you in, but you cannot get a piece of the I think it's the publishing rights, or when it comes to the revenues from the streaming or the ACC network." That's what you said. Cool. And in 7 days, these Bama's raised $100 million. What HBCU can do that?
It's like knowing your weight class.
Correct.
I don't think HBCUs, for me, I don't think HBCUs are trying to be in a Power 4, Power 5 weight class. I just feel like they're trying to keep up with the Joneses in a situation. That's
like,
what
I mean.
You bought a BMW, I can buy a BMW. Yours is a 7 Series, mine's a 3 Series, but it's still a BMW, right? Like, that to me is where I think they're going. That's the problem, is that
that's correct.
They're trying to play a game that was never designed for you in the first place.
Correct. That's my whole point.
Yeah.
Right there.
So that to me, it's learning how to play the game within your budget.
Correct.
That's it. That's all HBCUs have to learn is how to play the game within your budget. Okay, we don't have the alumni base to just be asking for hundreds of millions of dollars. We're not graduating 30, 40,000 students every year, right?
Yeah.
Because just off sheer numbers, if HBCUs are graduating 20,000, 30, or 40,000 students a year, then that will be we'll be having a different conversation, a whole different conversation, right? So
I agree.
To me, it's like this. If you can compete with G5s in attendance, then lean in on your attendance and where your strengths are, raise your ticket prices.
There we go.
And now you're playing a game that you win. You win.
That's correct.
Now, when you brag about the attendance records that everybody loves to brag about, with the attendance records, then comes an increase in revenue. So as long as my attendance is high and I've increased the ticket prices, my revenue has gone up. Go ahead.
But now what you can do also is because now, if you look at the NIL money from the PWIs, they're really targeting JUCO players, whether it be basketball or football. So who's left there? The lion's share of the talent, high school players. So therefore, when it comes to HBCUs competing with FCS schools, I love what you said as a strategy is, hey, so-and-so player, we can actually offer your jersey here. And here's some avenues for us to be able to have signing sessions when it comes to footballs, helmets, jerseys, to where you can make money with this. You can sell your NIL there. We also give you a little bit of collective as well when it comes to a portion of a salary, which is fine. But here's some other opportunities for you to actually make some money, knowing that, hey, you may play well to it. You may attract a PWI. You may attract that person. No problem with it at all. I'm constantly in a building standpoint because I know that my lane is going to be that high school player. I'm not going to attract a lot of JUCO players. If I do, it's going to be those lower tier players. I'm not going to track those type of players. You disagree? Or you agree?
I disagree.
Really?
And what I mean by because Mr. Bugs, you always tell me that real estate is a land is a commodity. Like it's only so much amount. You can't build land.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? I can't make up more land. Like it just is what it is, right?
Gotcha.
With the player, like there's just too much kids. Now you might have let me isolate it down.
Okay.
I could say, Mr. Bugs, there's a lot of houses out there. Sure. But you'd be like, I'm looking for a 4-bedroom, 4-bath. Correct. So that eliminates a lot of the potential purchases when you're focused on a certain player. So what happens with HBCUs is that, there's a lot of talent, but I'm looking for the measurables. You got to be this. You got to be that. You got to do this. You got to do that. And that. So when everybody has the same measurables, the pool gets real small because now I can't compete with an Oregon and we're both looking at the same player, 6'3", 280. He a nose tackle. I want him. You want him. You outbid me for him.
Gotcha. So I guess I'm not asking the right question then. What I'm seeing, and let me know if I'm wrong, I'm open to being corrected. Are most PWIs recruiting from the JUCO range or from the high school range, or is it a combination of both?
Top programs are going to get the top players, like that 300, that ESPN 300. Every top program is going to look at that top 300.
Okay.
From there, colleges want developed talent, kids that they can trust. That I know they're going to go to class. I know they've been in the weight room. I know they've been in college. They understand because again, you're taking a risk on a freshman coming in to college because he might flunk out. He might not be able to. So they would rather bet on a kid coming out of JUCO. They rather make a bet of a kid coming from Division II who was all conference. They'll rather make a bet of a D1 or a G5 kid that was all conference and played and understands and he's got some time under their belt. They'll take that over a talented high school player every time because they're like, I know he can go to class. I know he know what a weight room. He's played college athletics. Unless you're a freak of nature out of high school, any college will tell you, I want to transfer a kid that's played college football.
I got you. So out of a ratio, and I may be asking from a novice standpoint, HBCUs, the lion's share, let's say of a Southern, right, or even a Jackson State, it's the lion's share of the, let's say, the 2026 recruiting class. Are they coming from? Give me the percentage. JUCO versus high school.
HBCUs focus more on JUCO. I think top talents in FCS focus more on high school. They're more on developing. Like me and Blue, it's perfect. Blue just jumped in, but me, Blue, Perry, we did a show talking about how championship programs are built, and most of the top FCS programs are built through high school. 90% of their kids are coming through high school. For HBCUs, it's not the same. It's like 60-40 JUCO in high school, 60-40, transfer, 40% high school. That's really what that has come down to.
Interesting, because I was under the impression that again, I don't mind saying that I'm wrong. So majority of the HBCUs are recruiting JUCOs, not high school players, correct?
Yeah.
Gotcha. So I guess my question is I'm assuming though, are those the lower tier talent, JUCO, or the mid tier elite talent? Was it mixture?
You find what you find. It's like going to Ross, right? Like you might find a really nice Nike shirt, or you might not. You know what I'm saying? Like you might find something like, and I got it for a steal, right? That's what happens, right? Like Valley with Nathan Rimbert. I got him from a Division III program, a Division II program. He comes up, he dominates at Valley. He goes to Jackson, dominates again, right? Like I found a gem. And then you got kids who come down from JUCO or come up from JUCO that are bust and they don't pan out. It's just it's just one of those things where it's like it's interesting. There's no guarantees. There's nothing that's a guarantee.
Appreciate the wisdom. I ended here as I was at HBCUs, and thanks Blue for the wisdom as well. Also Blue, HBCUs. I would say the strategy for them, in my opinion, should be. It's just like as I tell you when we talk about business. Whenever I'm making a pitch to an investor or someone's pitching me, I'm thinking, what's in it for me? Outside of the culture of HBCUs and the experience of going to HBCU school from the tradition, most athletes, whether it be no matter what sport, let's talk about football, in their situation, they're saying, what's in it for me? Outside of the collective stipend that I'm getting on a monthly basis, what am I getting in exchange? I had a conversation with a past AD about this at HBCU, and we were talking about strategy. What can you offer a student athlete coming from a JUCO or high school that can be appealing to them? Say, you know what, I'm going to choose this school over you because I'm getting more in return, and I see a short term, a midterm, and a long term a plan for me. So I say HBCUs get more strategic with your strategy on how to attract that talent. You'll be surprised at what you can attract. God bless you, man, for the time. Thanks very much for the time, bro.
I appreciate it, Mr. Bugs. T, what's up? Hold on. Well, I hate to answer this while you're on here, but I'm gonna have to. I'm sorry. Right? Somebody said, didn't you call out who was sleeping with who when y'all?
Drop me.
I got you. Right? Didn't you call out keep it real and funky with yourself? Okay. I love context because again, I don't duck no smoke. I love context. Context is this: I didn't go down that lane until she tried to embarrass me by bringing my financial situation up in my contract. What I then did, Charles Martin 80-40, right, with a horrible fade. What I then did was I walked the people down on how she got my contract. That's what I did. I said, hey, I'm going to leave this comment up so everybody can see. The only way she got my contract is I had two confidants. And I know one of those confidants wanted to smash. So he then proceeded to give my contract to her to then give her leverage in negotiating for her contract. So all I did was walk down the path of what it is. Now, once I walked down the path, I said, since we embarrassing people, let's embarrass people, right? Like, let's go. Like, I'm here. Again, I rarely started. I tell people all the time, I rarely started, but I'm undefeated on this thing, right? And then I proceed to talk about what transpired. And I then proceeded to let people know, since I'm like, my wife always says, I'm Mike from Why Did I Get Married? Oh, since we doing secrets, Terry, can you tell your husband that you tied your tubes without telling him? Yeah, so that little boy you got, yeah, that ain't happening. Oh, can you tell your wife how you came crying to my doorstep to how she could be so dumb to not strap your son in? Oh, yeah. And please, can you tell your wife how Terry gave you a shot for VD? Like, that's me. If you wanna walk down this path with me, we'll walk. I'll walk it hand in hand. Captain Petty, Sergeant Smoke. I'm here for it. So again, no. Did I start it? Negative. Did I finish it? Absolutely, I did. That's just what it is. All right, T, what's up?
First off, I am amazed that you know that entire scene word for word, bar for
Oh,
bar.
I love that scene. That's
break for break. Like, you even got down to the please at the end.
Please.
And I hope this sets you free.
I hope this sets you free, my brother. Oh, so you got BD?
You didn't get it from. You got it from. What did you say? You got it from Charles. You got it. What was the name she said you got it from?
Oh, no, you got it from Tom. No, I'm not gay. No, I slept with him. I've been at the shot. I'll just wait for you to say something.
Boom. Yeah.
You're so damn evil.
Yeah. Proceed to choke her out.
Yeah, right. That's my movie. That's my movie. I skip to that part every time.
It's never wasn't expected to come on at that part of the show.
Yo, listen, I was like, wow, that's what we doing. Like when I saw the thing, I said, man, come on, man.
I have no comment. That's not my fight. That ain't my battle.
That's not your fight.
Ain't got nothing to do with it. I'm just here, so I won't get fined.
Yeah. Talk to me. Talk to me, Big Money. Talk to me, Big Money.
I just think that I missed the first part of the show, so I'm going to go back and watch it. But I've been listening and looking at the comments, and I think there needs to be a
T. Let me say this. I want you to. What I love what you do. And I heard you do it on Nightly a few times. I want you to step into the role as an AD and how you would administer. Because again, a lot of people haven't watched you on Nightly, and a lot of people haven't heard some of your breakdowns and how athletic administrations need to run. So I would love for you to break down this NIL revenue sharing and how you would implement it in the world of HBCU. You are HBCU grad at 1901 Fayetteville Street. Is that you know what I'm saying?
1801.
1801. My bad. 1801.
I was like 1801. I think first there has to be an alignment in administration, and it has to be alignment from the top down, from board of trustees to the chancellor/president, all the way down to athletic director and staff. If there's one person that's not in alignment, there's going to be a bottleneck in everything happening. And I always say this on Nightly, that if there is no alignment, or if no one is, or nobody is on the same page, nothing is going to work. Not even NIL. Like, I don't think most people understand that most of these P5 or P4 schools, P4 now, but it'll eventually go back to P5, because it's going to go back to P5. I'm going to continue to say P5, but it's going to end up going back to that, because Stanford and them ain't going to continue to keep going to North Carolina for no football games and for no Olympic sport games. I keep trying to tell y'all, 2028 Olympics is around the corner. And whether people believe it or not, all of this stuff is going to affect Olympic sports. We keep talking about, I keep telling y'all this, and it keeps happening. We keep focusing on football and men's basketball. All of this stuff is going to affect the Olympic sports. And I keep telling y'all, the Americans are not going to be successful in 2028 Olympics because of all of this foolishness that's going on. We're not. And once that happens, everybody's going to be scrambling, trying to figure it out. I'm telling you. Mark, what's today's date?
December 28, 2025.
4:43 p.m.
Yeah.
PST. It's not going to work. But, like, hey, listen, I don't think y'all understand. A lot of these schools are being affected by a lot of things, but that's neither here nor there. I think that if there is no alignment, if I don't even have alignment with my fund, if I'm an AD and I don't have alignment with my fundraising officer, nothing's going to work. If I'm an AD and I don't have an alignment with my president, nothing's going to work, because at the end of the day, the president, depending on how your school is set up or whoever or whatever, if the president, and even if you're just the face or whatever, even if you're just the face of the athletic department and you're not really making decisions, but everybody else above you are, they're making the decisions. If they're not on the same page about what needs to be done, it's not going to work. It's just not. Nothing is going to happen. And I think that what we have seen, I know you're talking about NIL Collective. I don't know the story. I don't know what's happening. I'll go back and watch it. But I think what we have to understand when it comes to these NIL collectives, I personally know of a couple P4 schools that had collectives and there wasn't no money in them. We've seen it in the news that there's some of these collectives that said they had money. They're going out here making promises to kids. They don't have no money. I think what, as people in the HBC space, have to understand, why is that? And why it's so hard for HBCUs to capitalize on this entire thing. Me and my friend always say it's something better than nothing. But at the same time, we have to understand the mindset of just how some of these things were happening. You got to remember, NIL collectives, when they were first started and everybody could start making money. I live in the great state of California, and we were the first to, declare
NIL
kids can get paid or whatever. And we also have to remember that we're just now really getting to the place where high school students can get paid. We have to, I don't know if it's my Wi-Fi, it probably is, because Spectrum is trash over here.
Oh, I hate Spectrum.
I hate it. That's okay, because I'm moving this week and I'm about to get that ATT and I can't wait.
Come on now. Come on up.
Wi-Fi gonna be popping by next week. but I think they're part of the reason why people weren't donating, part of the reason why some of these collectives didn't have money is because it wasn't a tax write-off. And I think we have to also remember that. You had these P4 schools, they had these huge clubs like NC State. They had the Wolfpack Club, or Duke, Iron Dukes. And I'm just naming North Carolina schools because I'm familiar with North Carolina schools. And Chapel Hill, the Rams Club. You got to think about all these P4 schools, even like the Ohio State. Everybody has their club. And it's also a tax write-off. So when these collectives were starting, a lot of these schools, a lot of these people, they're donating all of this money to these clubs because you paid $60,000. You get first dibs. You get dinner with the coach. You get all these these perks, but they also know that what their ROI is at that particular time. They know what the ROI is. So if they know what their ROI is when they're doing the giving for that, and then we have collectives ushering in, they're like, well, what are we giving our money for if there's no tax write-off? Because a lot of the collectives were not tax. You could not write them off.
Yeah.
Because again, you are paying athletes. According to the IRS, I was actually just reading this article before I even hopped on about it. The IRS is cracking down on these collectives, especially what they're classified as and what they're using for these collectives. So we have to start at the baseline as to why certain things are what they are. I always tell people I can go to your website and I can tell what your fundraising looks like just by what your website looks like. If I can't go to your website right now and just click to donate, you got a fundraising problem. Unless you're doing it in-house and you're doing secret fund and you're doing it secretly and you don't have your alums donated, you might have a fundraising problem, because a lot of people, especially in my age group, I'm 36, we want it in our hand, click to do, real fast, real easy. Then a lot of times you have a lot of these white women who are sitting at home, they're seeing all these stories come across their feeds or whatever, and it's and they send it home, they ain't got nothing to do, they spending their husband's money or whatever money they got, and they just, oh, well, let me go donate over here. It's just certain things, certain mindsets. And so I think for me, I'm always about alignment and about infrastructure. If the infrastructure is not in place, what is the base? What is the softwares that you're using? I know some people use Blackball, and I like Pacquion preferably, because as a donor, you can literally see what you've donated over the course of time just on an app.
Let me ask you this, T. The clubs, Are they ran by the institution, like the One Pack Club at NC State? Are they an extension of the university, or are they third parties, but the school has partnered with them? How is that working?
So most of these clubs are ran, so they fall under the athletic department,
Okay.
but they have their own separate like function of the department. If you get what I'm saying, like it's its own separate business, so to speak, to an extent.
Okay.
I'll say it like that. Like it's a business within a business, essentially. And so most of the P4 schools, they have like a full-blown dedicated staff. Like HBCUs, you probably got maybe like 1 or 2 people. Like I know when I interned at Central, and when we started out, and I interned in the foundation, I interned in our development. So I interned in our development department, and it was ran through the athletic department, and it was ran through the person that was over development. And most of the time that's the way it is. But at the P4 level, you have a completely full service staff. It's through the athletic department, but it's a full service staff. Most of these P4 schools have full service staff dedicated, because you have to have someone that's dedicated to different tiers, like to the different tiers. So it's like,
to give them the service that they're paying for.
Right. To give the service that they're paying for. So if I'm not, but if I'm a $60,000+ donor, I'm pretty sure that I have a dedicated person. There's a dedicated person on that staff that deals with the $60,000 donors.
Just that one-on-one.
Just that level. Then you have like it's literally the booster clubs. Thank you. I couldn't even think of the word. It's the booster clubs are literally through the athletic department. So it's like, for me, like I know like Southern University, they have a really great booster club. Like they have a great situation from what I've seen. Like when I've gone to their website, they do this Jagathon. Southern does for Southern to have been a topic of conversation once they got Marshall Faulk and everything, and what's, the deal and everything came out. They really have people don't realize, but they have one of the best setups for fundraising in the SWAC.
That's dope.
I would say Jackson State actually does an amazing, like but that's also his background.
Yeah.
So like when you have somebody that's the athletic director and that's their background, they're going to excel. They're going to excel. That is why I'm shooting for Ashley to be the commissioner. But that's either here nor there. That's either here nor there. But again, you also gotta have people in position that also get it and that understand where we are. If you don't have anybody that's in these positions and they don't get it, they don't get where athletics is, and I always say you in the sport of business or the business of sport. Pick one. You pick one. I learned that from my bestie. She says that when we have conversations, she says that all the time. Business is sport or sport is business. You got to pick which one you want to be in. And a lot of times we pick the latter, which is, okay. Yeah. But you're not going to go anywhere. And I just think, I would say 97% of HBCUs are not where they need to be from a fundraising standpoint. They're just not. They're not there operationally. And it's also because we don't have the budgets to service the staff either.
So you just talk like infrastructure wise and just kind of having everything lined up.
Baseline infrastructure and software. Like infrastructure and software should just be the baseline of anything. Because you're not going to be successful at fundraising if you don't have infrastructure in place at all. So for me, if I'm like the question that you asked me, if I'm an AD, I want to make sure my infrastructure is correct.
Yeah. Because
at the end of the day, I personally believe as an athletic director, I'm hiring the other people to make me look good too. Because I can't do it all.
Yeah, right.
I need the people that's going to be in place to make me look good. So if I have somebody that's in the development, if I have my assistant or associate director of development, you need to be raising money to make me look good. So I can go out here and when it's time for us to do our end of year reporting, or when I got to go to these board of trustees meetings every quarter or whatever, I'm giving them the update. I might have to take the credit for it, but you out here is making me look good. So which means if you make me look good and I look good in front of them, that means you get a pay. You get a payday on the back end. Like what we doing? But it's just like if you can't even come up with basic fundraising ideas just in your athletic department, you're not going to succeed in NIL because it's the same thing. Fundraising, all it is manipulation. And I don't think people understand. Fundraising is manipulation. We get manipulated into giving money all the time, whether we believe it or not. You just got to be good at it.
You got to be good at it.
You just got to be good. You just got to be good at it. If you're not good at manipulating people to raise, if you're not a good fundraiser knows how to manipulate the mind or to make people think. Because you always got to make the person that you're trying to convince to give money to, you got to make them feel special. If you don't make them feel like they're one of one, they're not going to give. I'll throw an idea out there. Somebody can take it up. I don't know who out here listening, but I throw an idea out there. So if I am, give me a school, Scotty. Give me a school.
FAMU.
I'm FAMU. I'm Quinn. I'm the new AD. First thing I'm doing. Actually, no, give me another school. Give me another school. They got too much going on. Give me another school. Give me another.
Alabama State. Alabama State.
Alabama State has great facilities.
They do.
They have great facilities. Okay, let me ask you this. What is something that Alabama State has that you know of that is their key, that is their
them suites. Boy, them Alabama State suites in that stadium. They A1. They A1.
I've never been to Alabama State. I've been invited to come to Alabama State.
No,
I've been invited to come.
Listen,
I've been invited to come
next level. State. That thing different.
Okay. If I'm Alabama State, Eddie Robinson is going into what year now?
Year 5, I believe. 4 or 5.
Year 5. What is I'm not as familiar with Alabama State, but I guess what is something that makes Alabama State special? As far as athletic wise, was it a player? Was it a team? Was it a coach?
I mean, you got Andrew. I mean, he
in the past. I'm not right now. In the past.
Tavares Jackson, when he was Tavares Jackson, he was a second or third round pick.
Is Tavares Jackson coming back?
He died. I'm sorry.
No, he got what?
He's dead. He passed away.
Oh, I don't know. See, I don't know.
No, you're fine. You know, I'm trying to think. You got. Let's go with Jackson and James Houston. He plays in the NFL. Let's just go with that. Yeah.
Somebody said the honeybees. Honeybee, I can't use the honeybees for if we talking about band fundraising, maybe, but we're talking about athletic fundraising.
So let's talk about James Houston and Jackson State. He's in the NFL right now, playing with the Cowboys, stuff like that. So go ahead.
Is he coming back? Has he come back at any that we know of to speak to the kids?
I know Aubrey Miller has, and he plays in the Canadian Football League. I just saw him at the SWAC Championship this year. And Zay Bowden, who's a DB for the NFL, he's came back a couple times.
What's Alabama State's mascot? It's
the Hornet.
I'm about to say it's a Hornet.
Yeah.
Okay. Every time, and this is something that I just think is just very, very, very simple. Every time, so what was the average score that the Alabama State scored this year?
35.
35.
35, yeah.
35. After every game, there should be an email going out to alums and athletic donor and booster club donors to make a donation based on the score of the game.
Okay. Simple.
That's so. What was the score? What was the Jackson State score? What was the Grambling Alabama State score? Because I know they beat Grambling.
It was 45-30, something like that.
How many people feel? How many seats does Alabama State have?
I think they go about 20,000, 25,000, something like that.
40 times 20,000. I see some people saying that our school already does that. Your school might do that.
But some other schools don't. Yeah.
There, I can tell you now, there's a plethora of schools. I don't know anything about. So I'm giving. Okay, guys.
Just a general. She's just giving a general.
I'm not saying
idea.
This is what Alabama State should do. I just told Scotty to give me a school, and that was the school that he gave me. So I don't know what y'all do at Alabama State, but this is just something I can tell you for a fact. There are multiples. There are 85, maybe 97% of schools that do not do that. So you cannot sit up here and tell me that every school does that, because they do not do that. They don't. Because I can tell you now, if most schools were doing this, I could probably go to every school's page after the game, and there is not a landing page telling me to go donate.
That's fair.
Because if that is the case, like, I do know that some schools do that, and they post it on their social media. They post on social media. They create a landing page, so when you go to the website, I guess it's Go ASU.
That's the first thing you see.
That's the first thing you see before you can even get to the page. You either got to continue, click on there to donate, or skip permanently. You got to pick one of the three options. It's one of the three.
That part I would agree with you. I don't think a lot of schools do that. Like, they might send out the email, they might send out the social media stuff, but again, I don't think you see a lot of landing pages prepping them to, priming them to give. I would agree with you.
No. And it's like simple stuff like that. So if you're not even doing something, just like you're telling me that Alabama State does it. Okay, cool. Alabama State might do it, but I can tell you Mississippi Valley State ain't doing it.
Now,
I can tell you a bunch. I can actually give you a bunch of schools that ain't doing half of that. And they probably do better than Mississippi Valley State on a good day.
My question is do they have to win the game? Because, Valley could do it, but,
they could.
I mean, do you have?
But that's when you got to get. But that's when you got to get creative.
Is this based off a win?
But you got to get creative. If you don't win the game, what do you? If you don't, okay, Scotty. If you don't win the game, what do you do? That's when you have to get. That's when you have to get creative. You can't depend when we beat. Y'all lucky I can't go get it. Because I done already wore it and it said dirty clothes. I wore it this week. When we beat A&T and we put them, Market Street. When we beat Market Street this year and put them 62 points on them, there was a 62-piece campaign, and they sent out for us to buy the t-shirts. I got a 62-piece t-shirt that I wore this week.
Easy.
So if you're not doing, my only thing is, like, if the infrastructure ain't there to do something basic like that,
y'all
not having no galas, y'all not doing. I can tell you now, Southern does a gala every year, and they do a silent auction. Y'all could do silent auction stuff. If you want to do NIL, okay, I'll give you one better. SWAC championship, Jackson State. Y'all went to 2 back-to-back SWAC championship games and won, and went to the celebration.
No. They only won one.
SWAC championship game.
I'm talking about
Deion. I'm talking about Deion here. You went to and you'll understand why I'm going back there.
Go ahead.
You're doing 2 of them. You did 2. Shiloh, Shador, and Travis. They don't never talk bad about JSU at all. You want to do NIL? This is something right here for KC Collective. This is what you do. You go ask Shiloh, Shador, and Travis to get y'all some game-worn cleats.
That's tough.
Sign them.
Tough.
And auction them off.
That's tough.
For the NIL Collective.
That's tough. That's dope.
Or a jersey.
That's dope.
I'm giving y'all free IP, free game right now. Like, you could literally do that to fundraise money for you. If y'all are so into the collective game, that is what you do. I'm gonna tell you, that's what the P4s do. They take the championship teams, they get the players to sign them things, they go auction it off on their little NIL websites. Mm. If y'all want to get into this game, you gotta think outside the box. You can't just ask people to donate. It's not going to work that way. It's just not. Even if you don't have an NIL collective and you just got your booster club,
Do that? Yes, you
Do
can still do
that.
it. You can still do it. No, that's I like that. I like that a lot.
Do that.
Yeah.
Valley. Y'all better call Rice. Y'all better call Rice up. Ask him. I'm sure the way he be parading around on the 49ers sideline every single game.
Facts.
And he did that god awful commercial with that chicken helmet. Y'all better ask him to go sign that chicken helmet that he did in that god awful commercial and auction it off. I promise you to make some money. Bro, you fish plates and prayer calls will not support NIL. You gotta think outside the box. And if you are not a creative mind, it's gonna be hard because everything is on social media. Travis Hunter ain't even playing right now. But I bet you one thing, you go when he come out of that boot, you take that boot, you sign that boot, and you go
put a JSU sticker on that J.
It'll go for millions. What are we talking about? It will go, and you don't just limit it to your people. You gotta go out
and get some stuff from different people. Like
you gotta go out and get some different stuff from different people.
It could be a senator that's a Jack State alum. It could be anything. I like that. I like that a lot.
So yeah, I'm just saying, like, for me though, Scotty, but back to your question, for me, I can't get into the fundraising and the NIL aspect until I know my infrastructure
is solid.
It's solid. I can't. Once we get through that, then I can come back on here and we can have another show.
Yeah.
About now, since we know what the infrastructure is, this is how you have to navigate infrastructure. What you need to do, and if you want to do NIL, we can do NIL. But even if your infrastructure is still shitty, you can still do NIL. You can still do it. You just got to have somebody that, let me tell you, the one thing that these ADs need you to do is make them look good. If they ain't even doing their job, you make them look good and you just go out here carte blanche, get the money. They keep a job.
Yeah.
Now, I ain't saying that it's every AD or I know ADs like that, but I'm just saying, like, ADs have so much other stuff to worry about where they just need you to give them what they need
and let them do what they got to do.
And let them do what they do, because they can't do their job to run the entire athletic department budget, in meetings all day. They in meetings all day. They ain't got time to chase down, and then they still got to meet with their coaches when their coaches got issues. They ain't got time to sit up here and worry about, go to the compliance department and ask to make sure, are you doing your job? No, give them the information they need. Now, if you ain't doing it, now when the report come out that you ain't doing the job, then they got to fire your ass. But if you do your job, don't be so lackadaisical in the office because your boss ain't checking for you.
Yeah.
You still got a job to do. And I feel like sometimes these athletic departments, we get so comfortable in our positions, or we're waiting and expecting someone to tell us what we need to do versus
or expecting somebody to just call in and give you a check and be like, hey, I got this $20,000 check for you. Here you go. Yeah.
And the last thing, my mentor out here in LA, she's from North Carolina. My mentor is Alicia Butterfield. If you don't know who Alicia Butterfield is, go look her up. I'll give you. She's her dad is GK Congressman GK Butterfield. V has worked for Google. She's worked for Def Jam. She worked for Russ. She worked for the Grammys. She's been in a lot of these top positions.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that I've learned from her, just being out here, is that
he went to NCCU.
He did go to her mom and her dad.
That's tough.
Her mom is also Miss Jean Jean Farmer. I'm about to call her Miss Jean Farmer, and she also was in. Her parents were both politicians.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. So he's associate judge and all type of stuff, Supreme Court and all types of stuff. This is crazy.
Yes, right. So she comes from good ground. as we like to say in the country. One of the things that I've learned under her is that, and because she's worked like just in Google and all these things, she's always dropping gems for us, always giving us advice. And one of the things I learned is just that can be used in anywhere. And it's just not in just corporate America, but anywhere, is that you can't wait. And mind you, she's a VP. She was a VP at Google.
Mm-hmm.
Like she had direct line to the CEO of Google. Keep this in mind now. One thing she teaches me and one of my wing sisters is that don't wait on me to give you the answer. Come to me with what it is that you want to do. Let's see if it works. If it doesn't work, let's go back to the drawing board and we'll figure it out. But waiting on me to give you the okay versus you coming to me with the plan in place for me to just sign off. It's like most these people in these positions in the athletic department,
Mm-hmm.
you gotta be a little bit more aggressive in your approach in this business now, because as we know, they're using HBCUs as the new JUCO system. And with NCCU, we've talked about all the time on Nightly. Trey definitely uses high school. High school is his thing. As you can see, Jamari Taylor went to Virginia, which one of them Virginias, and was the ACC Rusher of the Year or something like that.
Yeah,
like,
University of Virginia. I believe he went to UVA. I think he went to UVA.
Yeah. So yeah, it was University of Virginia, and you see they was in the championship game against Duke, which they lost. I don't understand how they did that. But you see, keep in mind that little boy. I don't want to call him a little boy. That young man. That young man was a walk-on.
Yeah.
So if you do it right,
you'll get what you're looking
reap
for.
the benefits.
You get what you're looking for.
But everybody we can't be lackadaisical with our coaches. We can't even do that we can't do that to them. Even if we know or however we may feel, you can't be lackadaisical with them, because they still need the product to produce what you wanted to produce. So it's like infrastructure. That's all I can give you today. Now I can come back.
Change up the whole game. Change up the whole game.
I can come back with my homegirl, and we can sit down and give a rundown of the NIL.
Listen, I'm always open to it.
So,
hey D, man, I appreciate your time. Listen, we got to do this again. I love the information. I love the gems. And again, at the end of the day, is you don't know what you don't know.
You don't know, and I don't know everything. I'm still learning. Like today, all I said,
don't do it.
All I said was like today. I had to go look up information because I was like, wait, I don't know. Let me just go find out, because things change all the time.
I'm gonna drop that.
Let me the thin hair, we still prospering out here. Still prospering. I'm still trying to use my drops, I take these out very soon after I move. And so then I'll see what my hair looks like then. And if we need to, go do a couple of things, if I need to go see my girl to get, some things done, cut some split ends, chop, maybe do a big old chop. I don't know. Just like, why you get me started? I've been doing so great. Why you get me started? I've been doing so good. I've been off social media. I ain't been on the internet this week. The men been crashing out.
Not the internets.
The men been crashing out. I don't know what's going on in the atmosphere, but I did not don't answer. I did not come here to get it started. I just came to talk about. I seen Scotty was on the Twitter box with the NIL and the like all the things. I was like, let me just pop on over here to see what's going on when I get to the house. He was here. I've been doing good. staying
You
away.
still doing good, and we ain't gotta stop it today. You still doing good.
I'm still doing good. Like, I'm just trying to understand why men are crashing out in the world. Like, what is going on with y'all? Y'all are in a complete different universe before the end of 2025 get here. Y'all trying to, I don't know what retrograde y'all been in, but
listen, you trying to get us in trouble, but we gonna keep it pushing. We gonna keep it all copacetic. Listen, D, I'm gonna hit you up after I get off live. All right.
All right.
Appreciate you. All right, Rock, man. Listen, you kept trying to butt in the conversation.
No. It jumped when I log in. It jumps up, bro. I don't know why. I wasn't doing that on purpose, man. I didn't want to disrespect your conversation, man. But this NIL thing is interesting, Scotty. I done talked to people that started NIL collectives. I've talked to coaches or whatever. And you know the thing that now, again, I'm not making it when I say this, I'm not making an indictment on any school, any institution. But this is just a coincidence based on people who've done NIL research. The schools that got NIL right early been paying players. They've been paying players. Like the schools that got it right real early, they had a mechanism to pay players before it was legal. Right? And so they had people who donated. They already had a pool of money, right?
Yeah.
That they were funneling to players anyway. So it wasn't a culture shock for those institutions and those organizations, right? For a lot of, especially you talking about Group of Five, FCS, and HBCUs, they weren't funneling any money to players, right? They didn't have so they had to go out and cultivate donors. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They had to go out and cultivate the infrastructure, the mechanism to create a way to pay players. And a lot of institutions are struggling with that. And you can tell by looking at their records. You know what I mean? Like, you can look at schools that have been historically, watch this, Scotty. There are schools that have been historically pretty good in football that in the last 5 years, they ain't been able to pay a drop because all that culture and tradition talk that they used to recruit off of, that shit ain't working no more.
Yeah.
You know, I'm right in the.
But my question, Rock, and not to make this a Power 4 conversation, relate that back to HBCUs.
Well, see, this is what I was getting to, Scotty. The HBCUs cannot start offering money and benefits to players until they fortify their infrastructure, right? Because what does it do to you said this many times, Scott? What does it do to pay a player $1,000 when the rest of the kids got to figure out where to get their pregame? And I'm not saying this is a situation at HBCU, so I'm just using this as an example. If there's no training table, if there's no adequate trainers on staff, if there's no medical care, if there's you have to fortify your infrastructure of committing to sport or operating a high level sports organization. Then once you cultivate those donors in this time, everybody understands that players want to get paid. You can also pinch off a little of that money to create a mechanism to pay players. But from what I understand, there's so many just basic things that need to be taken care of at the HBCU level that there needs to be a capital investment in training table and facilities and adequate medical care and training and all that kind of stuff first. You got to take care of that first, in my opinion, before you can get into this offering kids money. Because what you can offer a kid for HBCU is what you've always been able to offer: culture, commitment. I like when coaches are talking about, hey, let's not make a 4-year decision, make a 40-year decision. Those are all things that I think they can still recruit on at HBCUs, and they can get away from trying. They can not circumvent paying players, but they can offer that as an alternative. A player can go to McNeese and get $1,000 a month. Why would a kid go to McNeese and get $1,000 a month when they can go to Southern and be part of something special. You know what I mean? Something that's going to be part of their lives for the next 40, 50 years. Yeah. And I think that's what's got to be so now.
But hold on. This is the thing though. I can pitch it to you, but if you ain't selling it, if you ain't buying, you ain't buying it, right? Like, but again, this is the thing. People can get so caught up in that. Oh, why didn't we get this guy? But it's like he wanted $1,000 and the other kid wanted $250, and we couldn't pay. You know what I'm saying? Like we weren't willing to pay $1,000 a month, and we wanted to pay. And then that, to me, that's where you get into that nitty gritty of how well are you coaching? Because again, no, I'm not going to get every player that wants $1,000 or $1,500 or $2,000 out the portal. But when I get the $250 or the $300 or $500 player, can I turn him in? What does my development look like? How is my turnaround? Because again, even if I'm selling you to be here 40, 30, 20 years, or this is a 20-year decision, at 18, 19, 20, 21 years old, man, you're not thinking about 20 years down the line. You ain't thinking 10 years down the line. You're thinking about what I can get right now. So understanding that, you always have to be on the mantra and the mindset to be like, hey, how do I re-recruit my roster every year? What do I need to do? Who do I need to keep? Because again, 10 to 12 guys are going to jump in the portal every year. Minimum.
Well, Scotty, at the FCS and Group of 5 levels, if a kid performs, then he's earned the right to upgrade his situation. Yeah. Like that's just part of it. I don't think
that's life.
Yeah, that's just part of it. And I don't think the culture or people should get upset about that. But here's one of the things I'll say about
But they do though. See, that's the thing though, Rock.
But if you ain't got no money, on it, you can't get upset.
But that's the thing, Rocky. If they feel like this is what these collectives are selling. If you give me money, we can keep our players. But that is not true. Because you can't pay them market value. You just can't. You don't have enough money to pay market value.
No, you can't.
So that's what I'm saying. It's a false selling to if a collective tells you need to give us money to keep our players, that's not true. Because if they outperform the market that they're in, you can't afford them.
Absolutely. And collectives, first off, this is just my opinion. If a collective see this, okay, so I'm gonna go back to something, and this is kind of how I think HBCU collectives took kind of the wrong path, and they built them off of collectives at PWIs, whereas they got it wrong at first too. So there were collectives that got started for universities, and the collectives wouldn't talk, the coaches would not talk money with the players, right? The collectives would make all these promises, and then the players would go to the coaches and ask the players, hey, well, I hadn't got my payment, I had my money. And the coaches would say, hey, I don't have nothing to do with that. I offered you a scholarship, you took the scholarship, I'm giving you a scholarship. What you supposed to get paid, I ain't got nothing to do with that, this, that, and other. That happened in the first generation of NIL. And the players had no way of getting what they felt they deserved at the time. Now, what happened to these collectives was eventually, after they were getting outed, not nationally, but locally, people attached to those schools start making it right for the players, right? But here's the problem. Those collectives that were working on behest of the programs, they still were muddied in the water for those programs. They still were, people still were being told that, hey, if you talk to this guy, you're not gonna get your money. They'll give you your money till the season start, and once the season starts, they're gonna stop paying. So my point is, we have to have a reputable way of compensating players at the HBCU level. Like I'm gonna be honest with you. When you promise a player something and you can't pay him based on the money isn't in the coffers, there aren't pledges to. Is that the player's fault? Is that the collector's fault? Is that the school's fault? Whose fault is that if the money's just not there to pay a player what he's been promised?
It would be whoever made the promise.
But he made the promise based on what pledges that you and I made to donate, and our donations hadn't hit yet. You see how crazy that gets? Like I'm promising money out that I don't have in my possession because I have donors that have pledged money to donate that they haven't donated yet, but they're pledging $1,000 in September and another $1,000 in October. And guess what? When it's time to pay those players, I haven't sent my donations in. So what does the collective do at that point?
But that's not how collectives work, though. That's not how most collectives work. Most collectives
the ones that I am intricately involved. No, that's how they worked initially. They worked on pledged donations.
Okay,
but because they wanted to.
But that's not how they work now. Most collectives, club collectives or school collectives are subscription based. So you sign your card up, and it comes out like Netflix.
Oh, okay, yeah. You talking about the ones now that has the marketing deals and all that kind of stuff. I'm talking about the collectives with the local dudes that were representing the school that was saying, hey, I need to go get this player, go find out what this player wants. You go get the player, you promise it to him. The coach signs a national level tent. That was never a contract. What you're talking about is actual contract. They have contractual obligations to the player and to the collector, almost like those marketing agencies. You know what I'm talking about now? That's what they have now, pretty much. But those aren't really, to me, I don't consider those collectives. Those are agents.
No, they're collectives. Like, there are collectives, most collectives in the space, and I can pull up one right now, right? Like this collective is called One Pack. It's North Carolina. Is it North Carolina State? Yeah, this is North Carolina State's collective, one of their club collectives, and it is a subscription base, right? It's like you go here, memberships, corporate sponsorships, fan memberships, and you pay monthly. That's how it works. But that's how most collectives work, is that you pay a monthly subscription.
And you talking about the support, the donors pay monthly to be a part of it. I'm talking about how the money is funneled to the players.
Okay. So again, how it works is this, from my understanding, is like if you're on this, the money goes into a pool, and then the club and the coaches come together and say, hey, out of this, we want to give this player this, and out of this, we want to give this player this, and this. That's how it works, so that they can facilitate the money necessary to get it to the players that they want to give it to. Now, it's no different than a booster club. Like if a booster club is like, hey, I'm giving this monthly, like those are pledges. Like I remember when Vaughn was doing something with the basketball team, and I pledged to give $100 to the basketball. Now I understand what you're saying on that. Like I still got to send my money in, even though I said I'm pledging $100. I still got to send my money in. That's not how most collectives are made. Most collectives are done with a subscription base that they are recurring assets or recurring revenue, and they split it up accordingly. Because if you're saying I'm paying a kid $300 a month, you got to make sure you're bringing in $300 a month, not off no pledges. Like that's money. I got it.
So I know two kids that are they play at a Power 5 university. They have signed marketing deals with this company out of Arizona. I'm not going to even say the name or nothing like that.
That's completely different than a collective.
But at this particular Power 5 school, that's how all their players are getting paid.
But that has nothing to do with HBCUs, right? Like,
okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like, we're not talking about Oregon. We're not talking about, like, there's not a lot of marketing agencies coming down to the HBCU where and be like, man, I can give you $20,000 if you sign with Southern. Like, that ain't happening. If you come with me, I can get you $20,000. That's not happening.
But what I'm saying, Scotty, that's what HBCUs are competing against. They competing against hard numbers.
Again, that's why I said this is a game of different tax brackets. You're making my point. Like, I don't believe in NIL. I'm never going to believe in NIL. It doesn't make sense because you're not in the right tax bracket. You don't got the money for it. I believe in revenue sharing. Revenue sharing is, hey, based off our attendance and the raising of ticket prices, we have set aside a certain amount of money every year that we can give towards NIL. That's what I will wholeheartedly support that, because again, the alums are already going to go to the game. They were already going to buy tickets. Why not pull money out of something they were already going to do? That to me is where it's at.
Well, see, what you're then doing is taking money out of the athletic department's revenue.
No, you're not. If you raise if I was selling tickets at $50 and I raise tickets to $70, even if I take the $20 out for my NIL, I'm bringing in the same amount of money. Now, this is the kicker. If I sell less tickets at $70, I still made more money because I sold those tickets at a higher price point. So I'm still either breaking even or coming out on top. So no, it all depends on how much you take from the revenue. Now, would I do revenue sharing without raising tickets? That makes absolutely no sense. If I was selling tickets at $50 and I want to do a revenue sharing and I take $10, then yes, I would be losing money. But I do not do revenue sharing and not bump up the ticket prices, because I will then be setting myself in a deficit, because then I 100% agree with you. That wouldn't make any sense. But to make revenue sharing work, you have to bump up the prices. Again, Ashley Robinson did it this year with Jackson, right? He bumped up the ticket prices and the percentage. I think he took like $5 or $10 off the bump of price and put it back into the NIL fund. So now they got an NIL fund funded by them being the number one, number two in attendance. And it helps them. And then having big games like Alabama State at home, at homecoming. I mean, it really did numbers for them in the NIL world, in the NIL space.
But Scotty, can all right. So that model works for Jackson, but what about schools, and I'm gonna name any, that have trouble with attendance?
Then you shouldn't be in that game. Listen, man, if you can't afford a Mercedes, but your friend got one, that ain't got nothing to do with you. You can't count his pockets. You can't. This game is it's not fair. Even when money was not supposed to be paid, the game still wasn't fair. So the game is never going to be fair. You just got to figure out ways to do it the best way you can do it.
Well, see, I'm going to bring up a whole nother situation, Scotty. How can the SWAC equally split revenue to the athletic departments and then them not give the collectives a share of that revenue or make that part of any revenue share? Because my point is it's almost like this going to Valley, going to these other schools that suffer with attendance. You don't have any means of making it. Whereas to me, it puts all those other schools at a distinct competitive disadvantage. If one school has revenue share and the rest of the schools don't.
Every school is not able to win. That's the nature of the beast. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Illinois was bad until Kirk Cincinnati got there. Like, some schools are just bad schools. Like Illinois, they've been bad for a long time.
Illinois paid.
That's not and they still lose, Rocky. So you can have a bag and still lose. That's the whole point. You cannot have a bag and still lose. That is the point. It doesn't always come down to payment. Sometimes it comes down to, do I have a good enough coach that can turn lemons into lemonade? But at the end of the day, somebody is going to be left out. That's just the nature of the beast. So what the conference has to do is either one or two things. You cut bait with your valleys and you send them down to D2. You cut bait with them, or you figure out ways to raise more money and distribute more money, or do better media deals, or do better business. Like, that's either one or two ways, but you can't go out of your way and say, oh, I'm going to overhelp this one school because they need it. No. Hey, get it how you live. Get it how you live.
I like I say, I get what you're saying, right?
You over here with communism. You over here communism.
No. So Scotty, I just got a problem with they at the conference level, they want to divide the money equally. But when it get down to the players, they're not concerned about making sure the players have that same experience at each university. But the conference money is divided equally.
Okay, so hold on. It's like your mom. If you got 6 brothers, right? And I give all my brothers $100. How you spend your money is not your mama's fault. It's not your mama's fault. Now your mama could give you more money, but that you could still spend it improperly. So instead of, and listen, you know me, I'm harsh on the commissioner, but you can't blame Valley's mismanagement of funds on the commissioner. If he's splitting it equally, when, if we're being honest, Valley brings no monetary value. If we're keeping it a buck, like they're literally dead weight, UAPB dead weight, but I still split it equally. That is as fair as you can get. Now, how you manage your funds and how you go about doing what you need to do, that is completely on you. But you cannot blame the commissioner for how schools are mismanaging their funds.
No, I'm not. So what I'm saying is I'm not blaming the commissioner. I'm just saying that how money is funneled from the NCAA all the way down to the conferences, none of it trickles down to the players. That's all I'm saying. None of that money trickles down to the players. And why can't some of that money trickle down to the players? That's all. That's my point.
But the money does trickle down to the players.
How so?
It does.
In direct payments.
From why the NCAA, listen. Okay, hold on. You cannot say the NCAA gives a distribution check and the distribution check goes to the school. The fact that the NCAA allows you to use your revenue to give to the players, that is not on the NCAA. That is on the individual school and how they determine what is revenue sharing with. Because again, when Ohio State gets their media money goes into the players and goes into their salary cap. But in the HBCU world, they're allowed to use their media money. But it's like this. Perfect example, right? Rocky, you my uncle, right? You say, hey, you and my mama's brother and sister. You say, hey, give this to Abrion. This is for his birthday, right? You give my mama $200. My mama then turns around and uses $200, and I'm like, yo, what? My uncle gave me $200. Oh, I needed that for the lights. I needed that for. That is what is going on in HBCU. But again, it's not the NCAA fault.
Well, Scotty, for generations, the NCAA mandated amateurism, and they mandated that players could not get paid. They could not earn money for their likeness and their image. Why can't they then use the same money that they collect in the NCAA tournament, that they get in media rights fees? Why can't they also mandate that those payments trickle down to players in this generation?
They did mandate it, Rocky. That's called revenue sharing.
No. They didn't mandate it. No, it's not mandated. It's not mandated. It's an option for each institution.
To go from that you couldn't to doing that you can, to mandate that you can. Now, how they spend the NCAA is a governing system. It is not Big Brother. Like I can't walk into your thing unless you're doing wrong by the players, which is what? Over practicing, if you're not in compliance. But the fact that if I'm giving you an out to pay your players and you still choose not to pay your players, that is not on the NCAA.
But Scott, do you understand what I'm saying is that the institution of amateurism was upheld and enforced by the same institution that you say cannot make the schools pay the players?
They can't. They just can't.
All right. Okay.
I get what you're saying. Like they mandated that they weren't allowed, and they enforced that you weren't allowed. If you was getting improper benefits and improper this, and they would sanction you, and they would do this and they would do that. I get it. So you're saying, well, force them to make payments to the players or sanction them and do all this. And the NCAA is like, listen, man, we've had our hands in too many things. All we'll say is this: you're allowed to pay the players. However you decide to do that, however it comes about, that's why they don't even want to manage on how much a player can earn or not, because they don't want to get sued. So instead of them even having the mandate of, because they will say, it'll be something to where like, now you got to do a waiver because you said you was going to pay a guy $1 million and he didn't do this and he didn't do it. Becomes a minutia thing of paperwork. So the NCAA just says, you know what? Hey, listen, y'all can pay him. How you pay him, I don't give a damn. Just pay the guys. And that's where they left it at.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. You know how I feel about it. And I'm going to get off after this. But I feel that the NCAA has held up an institution that exploited players for over a century. And it wasn't until Ed O'Bannon filed a lawsuit and then other lawsuits were filed, and that the players actually won their right to be paid and compensated for their name, image, and likeness. And then once they got that right, the NCAA just pulled their hands off of it and said, hey, all the money we made for that century, everything that we gained for that century, we gonna hold on to that. Y'all figure it out. The institutions and the players, y'all figure that out. We ain't got nothing to do with it from here on out. I just thought that was a very irresponsible way of handling the situation. They should have just like they had a method of enforcing amateurism. They should have had a method in which they could enforce compensation, Scotty. Hey man, I'm out of here, my brother.
Yeah, Rock. Listen, I just think at this point in time, and I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna get off. I think at this point in time, the NCAA is just simply saying, you know what? I don't want to get involved anymore. I'm tired of it, because again, every time they put their foot in, they get sued. Hey, you only got this many amount of years. Sue. Hey, you can't. You got 2 years of JUCO. You can't use those 2 years in the NCAA. Sue. Hey, if you wear green cleats, you can't wear blue cleats. Sue. Like everybody's suing them because they realize, hey, I can get my way if I sue them. So the NCAA is trying to do their best by keeping all the pieces on the table and just saying, hey, we're just trying to keep it together. So whatever y'all want at this point in time, that's what y'all get. That's why for me, I keep saying this is a perfect opportunity for the FCS program, HBCUs included, to make their own college playoff system. Because again, if you sue and say, hey, I think you're limiting my right to capitalize off my product. We've already got a bowl game. You got a college football playoff game. You went to the bowls. You had a bowl system. You went to the college football playoff system. Okay, you gave us a bowl. Now we want to go to the playoff system. I think it's a perfect opportunity to do that, because the NCAA is going to say, fine, have it. I don't care. We'll give you an extra game or extra 2 games, or we'll give you whatever, right, to make your playoff system work. And then you go from there. But hey, man, to each his own. Listen, man, I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Want to appreciate everybody for calling in, especially my girl Tandia, man. Thank you so much for calling in. Man, I hope you guys are having a wonderful Sunday. And as always, listen, until next time, you know what I'm going to do. I'm going to holler. God bless.